Hey guys, Zane here with another quick one-take review, and today I wanted to talk about the Nancy Sinatra and Lee Hazlewood album, Nancy and Lee. Nancy and Lee is always a fun record to listen to and an interesting album to talk about, as it isn't necessarily one you would actually expect to be even half-decent, let alone great. This record is a talented, yet still fairly not well-remembered pop star of the mid-60s, crossing her paths with a largely forgotten baritone country pop musician, and that just doesn't seem like it adds up to be a very unique listening experience. Even the concepts of the songs themselves really aren't anything special on paper, at least. You go from covers of traditional pop favorites like You've Lost That Lovin' Feelin', which actually opens the record, to a variety of just folksy, country-based pop numbers that, again, in any other hands probably would have amounted to nothing more than just forgettableness. Now, where Nancy and Lee's true strength lies as a listening experience is the talents of the two people that are proudly, putting themselves on that dreadfully awkward and painfully mid-60s album cover. I mean, I'm glad that the lighting in this room kind of blanks out that cover a little bit because it is just very, very cringeworthy. But that being said, Lee Hazlewood and Nancy Sinatra are incredibly talented individuals, in my eyes, two very underrated individuals, and as such, them crossing paths ends up working out pretty well. That's mainly because while the two were obviously strong performers on an individualistic scale, the chemistry they have together is absolutely astounding. The way that the two play off each other wasn't unique, not even in the 60s when this album came out, but at the same time, it creates a certain tone for Nancy and Lee as an album. It sort of feels like the listener is sitting in a comfortable chair next to a fireplace as you're watching two very, very close friends of yours do karaoke to some old classic songs. Perhaps I'm wrong in saying this, but similar to artists like the Beatles, for example, Nancy and Lee kind of seems like one of those albums that it's difficult to truly hate. I mean, obviously there are people that will love this more than others, but I would find it genuinely hard to find an individual that just in their heart has a burning despise for this record. I mean, the fact that the album ends off with Nancy Sinatra laughing at Lee Hazlewood as he just kids about being a sore loser after the entirety of the song is over, it just kind of goes to show how much personality is in Nancy and Lee and how much it improves the album as a listening experience, because if I'm being totally honest, in any other hands, be it solo hands, a band's hand, a different duo's hands, this wouldn't have been nearly as good if it weren't specifically Nancy Sinatra and Lee Hazlewood. So overall, I have to say that really the chemistry and charisma that the two deliver with each other together is absolutely phenomenal, and it defines Nancy and Lee as an album, which is why I'm going to give it 4 stars out of 5. Yeah, I do think it would be better if there were just better song selection, or they tried a little harder to be not so much experimental, but just a little different from a lot of what was coming out of 60s folk pop and country pop music of the time, but at the same time, I can't really ask for a lot more from this kind of record, and again, the charisma and the way that the two just really joined forces here is absolutely fantastic and outshines anything else they did as solo artists. So again, 4 stars out of 5, and with that being said, that's the end of this quick review, and I'll see you guys in the next one.